Cable Commission and TCI Cable. I'm Steve McCall. Alongside is Dwight Fritz. As there you watch Waterloo Police Chief Bertie Kierson take part in the opening face-off ceremony between the starting centers for tonight's game, Bob Hayes of the Blackhawks and Ken Surgott of the Rochester Mustangs. Dwight, it should be a dandy game. The Blackhawks come into tonight's game just 1 point ahead of Rochester in 6th place in the USHL standings.
That's right, Steve. I think we're going to see a very physical game tonight, too. Whoever comes out and scores first, I think, is going to set the tone for the rest of the game tonight.
The starting lineups, it's Tony Gasparini in goal for Rochester, Colin Muldoon and Lon Hovland on defense, with Shannon Bazaraba, Ken Surgott, and Josh Klinkfuss up front. Here is Jason Decker for the Blackhawks, trying to clear one into the Rochester zone. Now Broughton picks it up at center ice, lost it to Bazaraba, and the Mustangs control. Lon Hovland on right wing now for Josh Klinkfuss, ahead at center to Bazaraba. Now on right wing to Surgott. He's around Decker. Surgott closing in and a save by Paul Spencer. Broughton clears it but not out. It's held in by Surgott. He flips one on goal, and Paul Spencer kicks that aside for the Blackhawks. The puck tied up along the boards. Now comes to the point. Hovland to drive, and that just whistles wide. Muldoon holds it in as the Mustangs have the Blackhawks pinned up early. Here's Decker trying to clear one out along the boards. Can't. Muldoon holds it in and shoots it in behind the net. Back to get it there for the Blackhawks is Stady, ahead on left wing to Broughton. Now it's center to Bobby Hayes. He crosses the center red line and shoots one in behind the Mustang goal. Setting up there is Muldoon. He takes a big hit from Chris Coakley, but is able to headman the puck ahead at right wing to Granato. Dan Granato moving in on Andy Roach, gets it into the corner, stops. Granato tries to work it in front. He's checked. It comes into the corner. Now Rosinski has it behind the net for Rochester. Mike Rosinski takes a hit from Dave Garbarino. The puck goes into the corner. Sean Pomplin clears it around, or rather it was Eric Jensen clearing it around the boards to Sean Pomplin. He circles back into his own end, gives it to Jensen. He's watched by Coakley. Now to Pomplin. Pomplin starts out of his own zone on left wing to center ice, flips one into the Blackhawk zone. First man there to get it is Mike Rosinski. He throws it in front. Nobody there for Rochester. Pomplin holds it in, into the corner to Stevens. He couldn't catch up to it. Garbarino has it behind the goal for the Blackhawks. Can't clear it out of there. Now Garbarino takes it up the right wing. Ahead at center ice to Garver. Garver tips it into the neutral zone, and the Mustangs shoot it right back in. Here's Andy Roach for Waterloo. He just committed verbally to a scholarship from Ferris State. Works it to center ice. Jason Blake races after it, but he lost the race to Brian Kelly. He dumps one in behind the Blackhawk goal. Spencer clears it out. It's held in at the point by Huglin. His shot goes wide. Into the corner it goes. Here's Jason Blake picking it up behind the Blackhawk goal. Clears one out along the boards for Garver. Garver comes to the Rochester line, shoots one in. Gasparini sets it up there. They work it out on right wing to Mike Schauer. Schauer got it to Kelly. He's checked. Now the Blackhawks work it to Rowe. A drive. Gasparini the save. Here's Rowe the rebound, and Gasparino stopped that one too. Oh, two close calls there for Dwayne Rowe. No score here in the early going, the Mustangs and Blackhawks. Now the Mustangs, Huglin gathers it up behind his own net. Cleared it, but it's held in by Folden. Folden got it to Thomas. He took a swipe at it. Gasparini turned that aside. Now the Mustangs come back. At center ice, Schauer clears one into the Blackhawk zone and then heads to the bench for a line change. Darren Beckley has it behind his own goal. Ahead to Austin Crawford. He's knocked down. Coming up with it is Janizic. Jamie Janizic works it in behind the Mustang goal. Now he has it in the corner. Back on the point to Hovland. Here's Hovland closing in. He takes a big bump from Rowe. Gets the puck into the corner. Folden clears it out. It skips over Muldoon's stick and all the way into the Mustang zone. Back to get it behind his own net is Lon Hovland. He's taken down on the play by Jason Blake. Now Brent Bessie gives a bump to Muldoon, but he works the puck ahead. Now here's Hiley a drive. Oh, and that just whistles wide. End-to-end action here, and now the puck comes out across the Blackhawk line, and Colin Muldoon shot it in with Matt Hiley trapped in ahead of the play. I needed a whistle, Dwight.
I was going to say, boy, that was a lot of play, a lot of action we had there for the first about 4 minutes early in the game here. Blackhawks were at least having an opportunity to get a couple shots, quality shots on goal there.
And the Mustangs so far have had maybe the territorial edge, but the Blackhawks with the better quality scoring chances. Now from the face-off, the puck in the Blackhawk zone. Aaron Broughton tries to clear it out. He's checked. Bazaraba holds it in. Here's a quick shot by Shannon Bazaraba, and Spencer turns that aside. Now Broughton clears it out. on left wing to center ice. It's taken there by Pomplin. He's checked by Broughton, who breaks back the other way. Broughton to Hayes. Hayes lost control of the puck. The Mustangs cleared along the boards to Klingfuss. He couldn't get it out. Decker holds it in ahead to Broughton. Tried to work it ahead into the corner. He's tied up by Klingfuss as they battle along the boards. Now it comes in front. Over to Roach. Roach in front to Bessie, and he just couldn't get a stick on it. Now gathering it up for Rochester is Jensen. Ahead on right wing to Surgat. Surgat gets it to Bazaraba. He chops one into the Blackhawk zone. Broughton goes behind his own net and starts out of his own zone. Now to Brent Bessie. Bessie got it to center ice. Granato knocked it down there, cleared it back to the Blackhawk line. Here's Surgat closing in a drive. That goes wide on the left side. Now here's a big bump by Hayes and Huglin as they collided. The Blackhawks work the puck out to center ice. Bessie breaks in across the Mustang line. He's got Garver with him. A drive by Garver and a save by Gasparini as he had to reach in behind him. And Mike Huglin is slow to get to the Rochester bench after that big collision with Bobby Hayes.
I'll tell you, Bobby Hayes just leveled him. You could hear it all the way up into the rafters the way he hit him. And Huglin tried to get up there, and we were following the play here, but Huglin got up, went down a couple times, and I know he's feeling that shot right now.
And he's being attended to by trainer Hope Hawley. You see linesman Steve Kmeyer, the officials Ian Walsh, the referee, Steve Kmeyer, and Rick Kemp, the linesman. From the faceoff, the Blackhawks control the puck in the Mustang zone. Now coming up with it in the corner is Jensen. He shoots it all the way down the ice. Spencer sets it up behind the net, clears it, but not out. Rosinski a drive. That's off the backboards. The rebound came right in front. It took a crazy hop, and almost putting it in was Granato. Back come the Blackhawks. On right wing, Coakley is knocked down by Muldoon. Got the puck over to McLennan. His shot was steered aside. Granato has it along the left wing boards for Rochester. Dan Granato works his way through center ice. Dumps one into the Blackhawk zone. Troy Stevens is in there after it. Spencer cleared it. Granato has it in the corner, centered it. Nobody was there. Now here's Slater trying to clear one for the Blackhawks. It's held in by Hovland, but Garbarino was able to knock his centering pass down and clear it right back down the ice. Back to get it for Rochester is Jensen. Jensen at center for Troy Stevens. Stevens, a drop pass for Granato. He tried to move around one man, but he was knocked down by Beckley, who gets it back to Garver. Garver gets to the Rochester line. Moving in ahead of the play was Blake, and so Garver had to hold up. Now he shoots it in. Beckley holds it in for the Blackhawks. They battle in the corner. Beckley gets it in behind the net. Back there for Rochester is Brian Kelly. And we get a whistle as the Mustangs tried to move out of their zone on a delayed offside finally. 13:42 left here in the first period. No score between the Mustangs and the Blackhawks here in this game presented by the Cedar Falls Cable Commission and TCI of Northern Iowa. Face-off coming up outside the Rochester line between Mike Schauer and Jason Blake. Schauer wins the draw back into his own zone to Ewald. Derek Ewald got it to center, but then was checked by Jason Blake. The Blackhawks dump it in. Now here's Garver picking up a loose puck. Garver a shot, and Gasparini the pad save on John Garver. Puck goes into the left wing corner. Blake clears one behind the net. Mike Huglin back in the lineup now, and we're going to get a roughing call coming up here, I believe against Rochester, as Huglin had the puck. It is a roughing call, and the Blackhawks will have the first power play chance of the night. It comes at 6:37.
This is a nice opportunity for Waterloo to get the early lead right away with a quick power play goal.
The penalty is on Brian Rasmussen for roughing. The Blackhawks power play nearly 20% on the season. However, not so successful against Rochester, only 1 for 12 on the season. They've got Hayes and Crawford and Bessie up front. Roach and Garbarino are the point men. Stevens is in to take the draw against Hayes. Stevens wins the draw back into the corner. Muldoon digs it loose for Rochester ahead to Troy Stevens, who starts out on left wing. Stevens and Bazaraba are the penalty-killing forwards with Muldoon and Hovland on defense. Here is Shannon Bazaraba stealing one in the Blackhawk zone. A pass for Stevens. He couldn't catch up to it. Bessie got it to center ice where Hovland takes it, circles back into his own zone, shoots it down the ice to kill more time on the penalty. The Mustangs are shorthanded, so there's no icing. starting out of his own zone. Here's Roach, a bad pass intercepted by Bazaraba to Stevens, back to Bazaraba, cutting in behind that net. The puck rolls off his stick, gets it back to Hovland to drive from the point, and the toe saved by Spencer. Garbarino now on left wing for the Blackhawks. Across center, shoots one into the Mustang zone. Gasparino corrals it, clears it around the boards. It's held in by Roach. Roach into Bessie, back to Garbarino, a drive, and that just whistles wide. Here's Hayes in the left wing corner, all alone. Hayes cuts to the net. He couldn't get a shot off. Now Austin Crawford is knocked down by Hovland, still battles for it, and clearing the puck out of the zone is Bazaraba. 55 seconds left on the power play for the Blackhawks. No score, and now we're going to get another penalty, an elbow call, coming up here against the Mustangs, and the Blackhawks will have a two-man advantage.
Just great opportunity for the Blackhawks, having the two-man advantage early on in the first period. They should capitalize on this.
The penalty is on number 5, Lon Hovland. The Blackhawks have a two-man advantage for 50 seconds. So we'll see what they can do with the two-man advantage. Time of the penalty is 7:47. Of course, it could go the other way as well, Dwight, if Rochester is able to kill it. Jason Blake on the draw against Josh Klingfuss, and Klingfuss just wins the draw to the Blackhawk line. Here's Roach. The Blackhawks don't need to hurry here. They've got time with the two-man advantage. Here's Blake. He's tied up by Jensen. Gets it into the corner to Garber. Back at the point to Roach. Over to Garbarino. He was moving in and couldn't get a stick on the puck. And over to check Garbarino was Brian Kelly. And the puck went off their sticks over the glass and out of play.
I agree with you, Steve. I think the Blackhawks are going to have to be patient and look for their great opportunity to get the shot off. And of course, it's going to have to be a quality shot too. So I think what we have to see here is that on the power play, Blackhawks are going to have to be patient and work around the perimeters and get that man open in front of the net there.
They've got Dave Garbarino, their leading point scorer, at the point. He's got 9 goals and 19 assists. Here is Garbarino at the point. Over to Roach. Roach holds the puck for the Blackhawks. Roach now winds up, takes a shot. It's blocked in front by Klingfuss. He didn't see it. Garbarino is able to take control. Garbarino a drive, and going down to block the shot was Brian Kelly. Kelly, normally a left winger, back there on defense right now for the Mustangs. 19 seconds left on the first penalty. 1:29 left on the elbowing penalty to Hovland.
The Blackhawks seem a little bit apprehensive in their shots there for that power play opportunity. I think they're going to have to look at working it closer inside instead of taking those shots from outside like that.
Blake wins the draw to Roach. Here's Roach, fakes a shot. Being watched by Klingfuss. Tried to feed it through Klingfuss, and it went off his skate and bounces to center ice. Now Garbarino to Blake. Jason Blake winds up at center. Across the line, and Chris Coakley and John Garber had moved in ahead of the play offside. Now with just 2 seconds left on the Rasmussen roughing penalty and 1:12 seconds left on the elbowing penalty to Hovland. 11:25 left here in the scoreless first period. Good crowd on hand here. The Blackhawks working with the area DARE programs and the Boy Scouts trying to revitalize what Waterloo hockey used to be like.
Oh boy, I can remember that back in the late 60s and early 70s. We used to bring the crowd in here anywhere from 2,500, 3,000 for each home game. It's nice to see a crowd support like this.
Hopefully it can get the Blackhawks a goal. Here's Andy Roach at center ice, shooting one in behind the net. Gasparini misplayed it. It comes to Coakley. Coakley a wraparound, and Gasparini just got back in time to make the save. Now in behind the net, Pomplin. The Mustangs are just one man short. It comes back at the point to Garbarino. Garbarino tries to work it in front. It's tipped in front by Garber. He scores! John Garber tipped in the shot from Dave Garbarino, and the Blackhawks take the lead 1-0 on the power play.
Very nice, well worked. I'm not sure who it was that was behind the net. Was that Garber that was behind the net? Worked it out to the point, and he took the shot and happened to be right there for it for the deflection.
Garber got back in front and gets the Blackhawks on top, and another assist for Dave Garbarino, his 20th of the year. The goal comes at the 10:54 mark.
Garbarino has a heck of a hard slap shot, and with the speed on it, I think with that tip, boy, there was just no chance for Gasparini to see that.
So the Blackhawks now lead 1-0 on the power play goal by Garber. Coakley and Garbarino get the assist. 1-0 Hawks. Back they come. Here's Bobby Hayes, a centering pass, and it's broken up by the Mustangs defenseman, Sean Pomplin. He comes across the Blackhawks line, but moving in ahead of the play, offside on left wing, was Jace Wareham. The scoring play, Garver from Coakley and Garbarino at 10:54. It was a power play goal for the Blackhawks, giving them a 1-0 lead. For John Garver, that's his 5th goal in 7 games since coming to the Blackhawks in a trade from Sioux City. Back to action, the Mustangs try to work it in front. Spencer knocked it away. Decker clears it, but it's held in by Pomplin. Pomplin works it into the corner to Wareham. Wareham tried to get it behind the net to Janicic. He's bumped off the puck. Decker works it ahead on left wing to Broughton. He takes a hit, but is able to work the puck out to center ice. Puck rolls into the Rochester zone. Back to get it for the Mustangs is Sean Pomplin. Pomplin comes to center, to the Blackhawk line. Pomplin tries to move around Garbarino. He hit him off at the pass, and Pomplin's centering pass was broken up by Jason Blake. He just lifts one down the ice, and Sean Pomplin again has it in his own zone. Tried to clear it out. A bouncing puck knocked down by Blake. Gets a weak shot off as he's being knocked down. Gasparini steers it aside. Lifting the puck high through center ice was Jensen, and the puck went out of play. With 9:52 left here in period number 1. 1-0 Blackhawks on top.
Tell you what, it's kind of fun to watch Blake play hockey. He's really aggressive, and he gets out there and he's feisty. He goes after the puck, keeps on digging. I think that's what it's going to take tonight, that second effort by the players. And I think we've seen that as of late in the last few games. The Blackhawks are doing real well going after that puck and staying aggressive and keeping after it. And that's what it's going to take to win the game tonight.
Since the last game here on TCI, the Blackhawks are right at 500, 10 wins, 10 losses, and 2 ties. Mustangs have the puck in their own zone. They clear it out to center ice. Brian Folden shoots one in to the right wing corner. Mike Huglin, he's the younger brother of Mustang coach Steve Huglin. Gets it ahead to Bazaraba. He's checked. Now Steinmetz controls for the Blackhawks. Todd Steinmetz back on the point to Folden. Back into the corner to Steinmetz. Tried to work it in front. It's broken up, and back come the Mustangs. At center, it's Shannon Bazaraba. Bazaraba, a drop pass. Surgat and Klinkfuss both went down. No call, and Klinkfuss is slow to get up as he was rocked by Folden. The Blackhawks cleared into the Mustang zone. Steinmetz in there on Mike Huglin. He gives Huglin a shove in the back. Huglin's able to work the puck ahead to Bazaraba. He takes a bump from Ben McLennan, and the Blackhawks shoot it right back in. Now clearing the zone is Hovland to Garbarino at the Blackhawk line. He gets it ahead at center to Slater. He takes a big hit from Hovland. The puck goes to Muldoon. Muldoon works it over on left wing to Janicic. Ahead at center, or rather it was Granato. He got it to center. And the Mustangs now leading the attack. It's Muldoon. Muldoon works it into the corner. Some pushing and shoving behind the play draws the attention of the fans. No call from referee Ian Walsh. Here's Troy Stevens holding one in, getting the puck back at the face-off circle. Tried to center it for Rosinski. That was broken up by Crawford. Now Hovland has it at center. Hovland ahead for Granato. Now to Stevens. Stevens back to Granato. A shot, and Paul Spencer took it right in the chest and made the save on dangerous Danny Granato as he cut in on right wing.
Well, that's one thing that they're not going to be able to do. Paul Spencer does a real nice job of coming out and cutting off the angle on the shot. And when you lift it up that way, Paul's going to get his body in front of that puck and stop it.
You take a look there at the Blackhawks center, Bobby Hayes. He just turned 18 this week, and under USA hockey rules, he's able to take his full face mask off. So happy belated birthday to Bobby Hayes. And he has been scoring hot for the Blackhawks lately. He has 15 points in his last 11 games. Now, coming out of his own zone, Stady to center ice, shoots one into the Mustang end. Jensen is the first one back to get it, but he's checked by Brent Bessie. Bessie tries to work it in front. It's taken, though, by Pomplin, who starts out to center. Sean Pomplin to the Blackhawk line, ridden off the puck by Decker. Got it in behind the net. Spencer clears it along the boards. It's knocked down by Kelly. He's checked by Bessie. Bessie tried to carry it behind the net. The puck bounced off the boards, and Paul Spencer very alertly was able to glove it and hang on, allowing the Blackhawks to get fresh troops out there. You take a look at Rick Kemp, the former All-State player for Columbus High. The former sailor led them to some state championships in his high school glory days.
And he hasn't changed a bit since then, Steve.
I won't make any comments about that because Rick will no doubt be watching this game.
Exactly. And I'm sure he'll say the same thing about me.
Jason Blake lines up against Janicic on the draw. The Blackhawks win the draw. Roach, a long outlet pass for Steinmetz. Outracing him to the puck was Hughlin. Hughlin gets it ahead for Hiley. His pass at center is tipped away. Back come the Blackhawks. Here's Garver breaking in. Garver a drive. Gasparini the save. The rebound came to Steinmetz. His shot was stopped right on the goal line by Tony Gasparini. He had to reach in behind him. You could see Steinmetz put his stick in the air. He thought he had scored.
I'll tell you what, that puck flew over the top of Gasparini's shoulder, dropped behind him. I think he didn't even see that thing coming down. He just merely put his hand back and was lucky enough to put his hand on the puck.
So it's no goal. Now Blake on the draw. Blake wins the draw. Back to Beckley, a drive in the high riser, and Gasparini made the save there. Beckley got the shot off that was rising and was about waist high by the time it got to the net. Hiley had gone down in front of him to try to block it, and Beckley got it over him.
It's interesting, Steve. I'm watching from a different perspective up here, but I have noticed that Rochester is not clearing out the front of the net as good as what Waterloo Blackhawks do, and I think that might be one of our opportunities.
The Mustangs not noted for a very physical, aggressive defense, a very good skating defense. We've seen players like Sean Pomplin and Eric Jensen leading several rushes out of their own zone. Now they work it to center ice. Here's Beckley putting a hit on Surgat, getting the puck over for Folden. Folden ahead for Rowe. It bounced past him. Puck bouncing all over the place on the ice surface tonight. Now Ryan Thomas tries to take control for the Blackhawks. In the corner, Thomas centers one for Rowe. He's hooked from behind by Bazaraba. Rowe still with that puck. What strength there by Dwayne Rowe. Blackhawks worked it to Folden. His pass to Beckley was off the mark. He has to wait for the Blackhawks to clear the zone. Shoots it in. Hovland sidesteps Rowe, gets it out to center to Bazaraba. Bazaraba down the right side. A shot and a glove save by Paul Spencer, who has one of the best glove hands in the USHL among all goaltenders.
No doubt about it. Paul has probably got one of the quickest reflexes as a goalie that I've seen in the United States Hockey League.
Fans enjoying this action tonight. Blackhawks back in action on Friday night against Dubuque. Make your plans to be here then. His coach Scott Mickish will coach against his ex-team for the first time here at McElroy Auditorium. That should be fun to watch. And his younger brother plays for Dubuque. On the face-off, it's Blake against Stevens. Blake wins the draw, clears it out along the boards. It's held in by Eric Jensen. Jensen centers one, it misses everybody. Coakley picks it up. A long lead pass for Blake. He couldn't handle it. He tips it into the Mustang zone though. Back to get it for Rochester is Jensen. He sends it behind the net for Pomplin. Sean Pomplin on left wing. Fires one into the Blackhawk zone. Garbarino has it. He's passed for Slater's too far. Jensen then fanned on his attempt to hold it in. Jensen gets it over for Pomplin. Pomplin takes it up the right wing now for Rochester across the center line. Slaps one in behind the Blackhawk goal. Spencer clears it out along the boards. Gets it ahead for Brent Bessie. He's got room. Now leads McLennan to center. McLennan shoots one into the Mustang zone. Back to get it there is Pomplin. Pomplin clears one to center to Troy Stevens. He's checked, but the puck comes to Dan Granato. Granato moving in on Decker. Granato centers it to Janicic, and he scores. Or rather, it was Mike Rosinski. They worked the 2-on-1. Granato waited till Decker went down and fed a beautiful centering pass to Mike Rosinski, who puts it in and ties this game 1-1.
Oh, that was unfortunate. What happened there, I think, was McLennan, after he dumped the puck in the Rochester zone, fell down on the ice and was trying to get back up. He saw that the break was going towards the Waterloo net, and he just couldn't hustle back in fast enough time to get in there and help protect Spencer.
The goal comes at 14-18. Rosinski from Granato. It's Rosinski's fourth goal of the year and ties the game at 1. Back to action quickly. The Blackhawks go offside on the play. 5:36 left here in period number 1. Score now tied 1-1 from the face-off. Shooting one into the Rochester zone is the Blackhawks' Ben Stady. Working back out now for Rochester is Shower at center. Over for Ewald. His pass at center was off Rasmussen's skate. The puck loose at center ice. Now Rasmussen does control. Rasmussen is checked at center ice. Hayes gets one ahead to Bessie. Bessie looks for some help and dumps it in to the Rochester zone. Rasmussen picks it up for Rochester. Rasmussen clears one along right wing. to Mike Hughlin. Here's Hughlin, the defenseman, leading the rush. Got it in front of the net. Hayes doing a good job back checking, was able to steal. Hayes now dumps one in behind the goal. Folden has it for Waterloo. On right wing, his pass for Bessie is knocked down by Kelly. He dumps one into the Waterloo end. Lifting one high down into the other end of the rink is Ben Stady. Back to get it there is big Lon Hovland. He's playing a transfer year from St. Cloud State. He started the year at St. Cloud. Hovland shoots one in, takes a big bump from Folden, and the puck winds up on the mesh and behind the net. That'll force a stoppage of play. You see on the scoreboard clock at the top of your screen, 4:34 left here in period number 1. Score tied 1-1 here in the first period. Face-off coming up outside the Blackhawks zone. Blake on the draw against Janicic. Blake wins the draw into his own zone to Folden. He's checked as he tried to clear it. Battling there for it for Rochester is Chase Wareham. The Blackhawks finally do get it to center ice. Hovland shoots it right back in. Here's Jason Blake going behind his own net. He's tied up by Matt Hiley, and he'll get a penalty as Hiley got the collar up high on Jason Blake, and he'll go off for holding here at 15:45. So the Blackhawks 1 for 2 on the power play. Will try it again with the man advantage. Hiley goes off for holding.
This gives Waterloo another good opportunity to get back up on top and try to at least keep the momentum going their way going into the locker room for the end of the first period.
Try to get the big crowd back into the game. It'll be Stevens and Bazaraba again up front, killing the penalty for Rochester. This time with Jensen and Pomplin on the defense. The Blackhawks have Hayes, Coakley, and Bessie up front. Garbarino and Roach are the point men. Here is Coakley tied up at center by Bazaraba. He shoots one into the Blackhawk zone. Back to get it is Dave Garbarino. He got an assist on the first power play goal by John Garver. Gives it to Brent Bessie. Bessie at center. He takes a big hit from Bazaraba. Lost his stick, and Bessie heads to the bench to get a new piece of lumber. Now in behind the net. Coakley kicks it to his own stick, tried to get it out on the point. It was broken up by Bazaraba, and he clears one all the way down the ice. You see Paul Spencer setting it up for Brent Bessie. Bessie takes it back the other way into the left corner. Now over for Roach. Roach to Garbarino. At center for Dave Garbarino. They call him Gramps. He's the oldest player on the team at 20. Shoots one in behind the net. It comes on the right point to Roach. He clears it back into the corner. Pomplin ties up there with Coakley. Now Bessie comes in to try to help out. And they finally freeze the puck, and we get a whistle and a face-off coming up to the left of Tony Gasparini with 58 seconds left now in the Blackhawk power play. 3:13 left here in the first period. 3 penalties in this period, all against Rochester. Garver has the Blackhawk goal, his 4th goal since coming over, or check it, it was his 5th goal since coming over in a trade from Sioux City, his 12th goal of the season overall, and Mike Rosinski's 4th goal for Rochester. Klingfuss against Blake. Blake wins the draw, back to Garbarino, the big drive, oh, and Gasparini, the body save on that blast by Dave Garbarino.
That is one heck of a slap shot Garbarino has. And again, as they call him the old man has one heck of a slap shot, and it's all that Gasparini can do to smother that puck.
Another nickname for Dave Garbarino is Reg, after the character in the movie Slapshot, the Paul Newman character. Here's Gramps again, a drive, and that would hit Klingfuss in the back. Now Garver shoving with Hughlin in front. Garbarino holds it in to Blake. Back to Garbarino. Another drive, and it's blocked in front this time by Kelly. And the rebound comes to Klingfuss. Klingfuss flips one in. Spencer makes the glove save and lays it off for Blake with 33 seconds left in the power play. Blake out of his own zone at center on a right wing to Roach. Roach tips one into the Mustang zone. Back to get it is Hughlin. Hughlin is knocked down in the corner. Blake gets it to Roach. Roach goes cross ice to Coakley. He couldn't handle the pass. Gets it back at the point to Garbarino. Garbarino into the corner to Blake. Blake back at the point to Roach. 13 seconds left on the power play. Over to Garbarino. Back at the right point to Roach. Roach into the face-off corner for Blake, and Kelly got his stick on it and knocked it away. Hughlin now knocks it down for the Mustangs, clears it out to center ice. Hiley is back on, and Rochester is at full strength. They've killed it off. Now here's Coakley bumping with Klinkfuss at the blue line, clearing one into the Mustang zone. Hiley just out of the penalty box on right wing. He's taken down by McLennan. No call there. Folden gets the puck, shoots one in around behind the net for Rowe. His long lead pass for Slater is a little too far. Goes into the Rochester zone. Jensen over to Pomplin, takes a big hit from Dwayne Rowe. Now Stevens banks it off the boards. Hiley has it at center. He's ridden off the puck neatly by Beckley. Back come the Blackhawks. McLennan at center. Takes a couple tries at it as he was being checked. Finally got it into the Mustang zone. Here's Slater. Centered one. It came all the way through the slot. McLennan couldn't get a stick on it and came all the way back out to center ice. The Blackhawks. Stady to Decker. He dumps it in. It comes along the right wing boards to Stady. His shot, that almost fooled Gasparini as he had to make the glove save on a knuckleball shot there by Ben Stady. Now we get some action, some pushing and shoving in front of the net. Dwayne Rowe exchanging pleasantries with Mike Ruzinski. Probably asking him what he thinks about this big crowd here tonight.
I'm sure there was something to that effect, Steve.
1:19 left here in period number 1. 1-1 the score. Pretty entertaining first period so far.
I think it's been a great first period. The Hawks have kept the intensity up. Rochester doing a nice job of killing some of those power play opportunities that the Blackhawks haven't been able to capitalize on.
Bobby Hayes against Troy Stevens on this face-off, coming up in the Rochester zone. Broughton and Granato are jabbing at each other. Also, Bessie tying up with Muldoon over on the right wing. Stevens wins the draw, gets it to Muldoon. Behind his own net, Muldoon starts out on right wing ahead to Troy Stevens. Stevens across the line, he's checked, and Broughton starts back for the Blackhawks. Knocking it away from him was Rosinski. In behind the net, Stady has it for the Blackhawks. Ahead to Hayes. Hayes takes a big hit, clears it out to center. Less than a minute to go in the first period. Bessie along the left wing for the Blackhawks in the Mustang zone. Lost it to Muldoon. He gets it over to Hovland. Hovland works his way through center ice. Now to Dan Granato. Granato on right wing for Rochester. In behind that net. Centers it. It comes to Hovland, and we get a whistle as the net had been dislodged. And Andy Roach also dumped Brian Rasmussen. And now Bessie and Stevens shove at each other in behind the net. 36 seconds left here in period number 1. Bessie and Stevens rode each other right into that net, knocking it off its moorings.
Yeah, I think that's what the pushing and shoving was all about. I think Bessie and Stevens were probably exchanging business cards there.
Face-off coming up in the Blackhawk zone. With 36 seconds left, we will not be breaking away immediately after the first period. We've got a special presentation to show you. The Player of the Week award to Paul Spencer for his efforts a couple of weeks back against the Dubuque Fighting Saints and Sioux City Musketeers. From the face-off, the Mustangs win the draw. They tried to work it in front. It was just out of the reach of Mike Schauer. Now Thomas clears it, but not out. A diving save by Hughlin to hold it in. But now the Blackhawks do clear it to center ice. Garbarino looks up at the clock, then takes control of the puck. Now for Ryan Thomas at center. Thomas playing his first game in 3 games after battling the flu. Here's Thomas, a quick shot, and Gasparini just steered it aside. Now the Mustangs. Rasmussen clears it to center. Roach takes it in his own zone to Garbarino, out to center to Ewald with 2 seconds left. And the horn sounds to end the first period with the score, Rochester. We're just back to action here in the second period. Apologies for some technical difficulties. We played about 2 minutes of the second period, and Rochester has taken a 2-1 lead. A goal by Ken Surgott from Shannon Basaraba and Josh Klinkfuss at the 32nd mark of this second period. And that made the score 2-1. Now here's Lon Hovland holding it in as the Mustangs now lead the Blackhawks 2-1. Working it in front, or trying to work in front, is Schauer. He's knocked down on the play. Folden clears it off the glass and out to center ice. Hovland lost his glove when he was knocked down in the Blackhawk zone. Gives it off to Colin Muldoon. Muldoon is watched by Austin Crawford. Has a retreat back behind his own goal. Now takes a bump from Hayes. Gets it ahead, though, to Kelly. He gets it to Hovland. He tips it to center ice. Garbarino controls for the Blackhawks. Got it to Roach. He fanned on a pass, and Rasmussen then broke into the Blackhawks zone. He was checked by Broughton. Mustangs come back. Hovland intercepts a pass at center ice. He still hasn't picked his glove up. You see it laying there on the ice by Rasmussen. The Mustangs working in the corner. Schauer gets it in front. Kelly a tip try, and Spencer the save on that diving deflection by Brian Kelly. Garbarino clears one down the ice. It goes all the way to Tony Gasparini on goal. And he covers up now with 16:59 left here in the second period. Rochester now leading Waterloo 2-1.
Well, that was a quick strike by Rochester to come out there 30 seconds into the second period and poke one through the legs of Paul Spencer. Waterloo's going to have to recoup real quick here and get back on the board and get things evened up.
Jason Blake will stand in on the face-off as they tend to some of the work along the boards in behind the net. And actually heading off the ice is Sean Pomplin of Rochester, so he must have some sort of an equipment adjustment. He was going off the ice under his own power, okay, maybe just needs to resharpen his skates or something. Did not look to be injured, so we're back to action here. Blake against Januzic on the face-off. Januzic wins the draw. Hiley had it for a moment, then he overskated the puck. Blake tries to dig it to Garver. Garver sends one in behind the net. Steinmetz bumps Wareham there. The puck comes to Garver in the corner. Garver battles for it. He's tied up by Januzic, and now coming up with it is Hughlin for the Mustangs. He takes a big hit. Got it to center ice, though. Garbarino had it there, got it to Blake. Blake ahead for Steinmetz. He backhands one into the Mustang zone, then Hughlin pitchfork his stick out of his hands. Back to get it behind his own goal. Eric Jensen spins away from a chap. Jensen drops it back off behind the goal now for Hughlin. On right wing to Hiley. Hiley is checked by Garbarino. Garbarino is tied up in the corner. Now Slater digs it loose for the Blackhawks. And to get it is Coakley. Coakley tries to work it in front. He get it in front of Blake. He was too well tied up. Couldn't get a shot off. Now Slater sends one in behind the net. Coakley is knocked down. Goes sprawling to the ice. Can't work the puck in front. Now Slater puts a heavy hit on Wareham. The puck comes to Roach. Roach tried to work it in front, and the puck never got through to Garver. And finally the Mustangs, Januzic clears it down the ice. Garbarino deep in his own end, ahead for Roach. Now at center ice for Rowe. He couldn't catch up to it, and the Mustangs come back. With the puck now is Surgat. Surgat runs into Derek Ewald at center ice. Now they get untangled. Surgat over for Muldoon. Back to Surgat, now ahead for Klinkfuss. Klinkfuss from his own zone clears one all the way down the ice. It's on goal, so there's no icing. Roach clears one in behind the net to Garbarino. Garbarino got it to the point, but not out. The Mustangs shot it back in. Roach knocked it down, and then he was able to clear it, and as Muldoon shoots it back in, Rochester is in ahead of the play, offside. Play a little more ragged here at the start of the second period than it was in the first period.
Yeah, I think we're seeing that the Blackhawks are having a hard time getting on track right now, and I think we're going to have to try to pick up the pace just a little bit and put it to Rochester right now, especially when they're trailing by one goal.
This obviously the biggest crowd of the year, maybe the biggest crowd some of these players have ever played in front of. Can that add to nervousness?
Could, but I doubt that the players usually are pretty well focused when you're on the ice. I don't think that that's going to be that big of a distraction to the players.
Sean Pomplin has returned to the Mustang bench. Face-off outside the Blackhawks zone. Here's Hovland holding one in. Hovland tried to get it in front to Surgat. He was bumped off the puck by Decker. Now Hayes has it at center. He's got Bessie on right wing. The pass goes into the corner. Bessie has it there for the Blackhawks. Spins away from a check. Then he tried to drop it back to Stady out of his reach and goes all the way into the Blackhawks zone. Spencer clears it out along the boards. It comes to center now. Decker has it for the Blackhawks. He takes a rough ride from Lon Hovland. Gets it ahead to Bessie, and now Hovland and Decker have their gloves up. And now they drop their gloves, and they're going to go at it. Big Lon Hovland and Jason Decker. Decker lands a right. Hovland answers back with the right. Now they tie up right along the boards. Decker gets that right hand loose again. Now Hovland comes over with the left on top that knocks Decker to the ice. So Hovland winds up on top, But Jason Decker definitely got his shots in. There's no doubt about that.
Well, I'll tell you what, when these two guys are going at it, there's just nothing that the referees or the linesmen want to do is get in there, especially when those fists are flying. About the only thing they can really do is wait until one of them or both of them drop down to the ice where they can get in on top of them and separate the two players.
So Hovland and Decker will be done for this game for the evening. You take a look at big Jason Decker heading off the ice. He'll get a 5-minute fighting penalty and a game ejection. That means neither of those players will have to miss any more games. They are just done for the remainder of this game. The penalties come at 5:27.
This is always something that gets the crowd riled up. Maybe that's what it was going to take to get the crowd back into the game here, because it's been a little bit docile here in the second period.
Excuse me a minute, I had to look docile up. That's too big of a word for me here.
They're a little bit.
It has been rather quiet. That did bring them to their feet. So we'll see now. Hovland and Decker each get fighting and game ejections. They're done for the balance of this game. McLennan steps in on the faceoff against Troy Stevens. Coming up to the right of Tony Gasparini. Rochester leading this game 2-1. 14:33 left here, period number 2. From the draw, puck comes right off the boards to Gasparini, and he smothers it before it can bounce back out in front. That took just 4 seconds off the clock.
You have to refresh my memory, Steve, but McLennan, he's a Waterloo, Cedar Falls product of the rec program here and also through the Junior Hawks.
Lives in Cedar Falls and came up through the Junior Hawks and a former Waterloo Warrior. And now in the world of junior hockey and getting some looks from the Air Force Academy to go play hockey there. The Mustangs work it to center ice. Rosinski had it roll off his stick. Roach controls for the Blackhawks. Across the line, Andy Roach, a quick wrist shot. And Tony Gasparini, the save, and Pomplin flattened Ben McLennan there in front after the whistle. And now we get some pushing and shoving. Troy Stevens tries to step in and have a word. Granado was also involved. McLennan was there. He wasn't really harassing Gasparini, and Pomplin just dumped him right on his wallet.
Tell you what, though, the coaches will tell you that the one thing that they want their players to do is that's protect the goalie. And you're going to get that every time there's a frozen puck or something involved around the front of the net. They're going to clear anybody out of the way they can. And that usually results in the pushing and shoving that we see.
No penalties from it. Boys will be boys. Good quick wrist shot there by Andy Roach that time down the ice. Stevens and McLennan tie up on the faceoff. The puck comes to Garbarino. He clears it around the boards. It comes into the corner. The Mustangs clear it out to center ice. Here's Stevens missing at it at the blue line. Roach has it to McLennan. Now ahead for Rowe. Rink wide for Coakley. That was intercepted by Muldoon. And Stevens corrals it for the Mustangs. Over now to Jensen, or Ewald rather. Ewald shoots one in. Garbarino controls it, tries to work it ahead to Slater. It skips over his stick, comes back into the corner. Now here's Rosinski, back at the point to Ewald. Ewald a shot, and Granado tips that just wide. Now Garbarino in the corner, clears it ahead on left wing to Todd Slater. Slater picks an opening, clears it down the ice. It didn't go through the goal crease, so that'll be icing against the Blackhawks as they were headed off for a line change, and Chris Coakley collided with Mike Rosinski right in front of the Blackhawk bench there and turned around to check a number.
I'll tell you, that's the last place you want to be if you're the opposing team, is to check somebody right in front of the other player's bench.
Face-off coming up to the left of Paul Spencer, right in front of the KGCI 98 board. K98, the radio voice of the Blackhawks. You can follow them on the road on KGCI. From the face-off, Hayes and Shower work the puck into the corner. Now comes around the other boards to Bessie. Bessie gets it back to Folden, and he sends Bessie on his way on right wing. Lead pass for Hayes, too far into the Mustang zone. Gasparini clears it around on the boards. Beckley holds it in at the left point. A weak centering attempt intercepted by Shower. Shower now to Rasmussen on right wing. Rasmussen is knocked down, gets it into the Blackhawks zone. Kelly into the corner, tied up by Folden, and Bessie comes out of there. Bessie ahead to Hayes. Now on left wing for Aaron Broughton. Broughton lost the puck to Huglin. Mike Huglin, the younger brother of Steve Huglin, to center. Huglin now to Kelly. Kelly across the line, checked by Garbarino. The puck loose. Rasmussen gathers it in. He's checked, and Steinmetz wraps it out off the boards all the way down the ice, and back to touch it is Pomplin, and that'll be another icing call against the Blackhawks. Now with 12:27 left in the second period, 2-1 the score for Rochester.
You know, I'm kind of surprised. We've seen a lot of dumping the puck in the zone. I don't know if the strategy at the end of the first period, the coaches went in and said, listen, we want to dump it and have the guys chase it down and see if we can get something to bounce our way or not. But usually that's a sign that some players might be a little bit tired and they're trying to get in with the line changes. But
face off in the Blackhawks zone. The Mustangs win the draw, and they work it over to Wareham, and he scores. Januszek won the face-off. Worked it over to Jace Wareham, who had worked himself wide open on the left wing, and Wareham puts the Mustangs on top, 3-1.
Well, that was tough goal for Paul Spencer. That was a mental letdown on the defense there to off the face-off. They should have been a little bit more aware of that player coming around like that. Wareham did a nice job.
The goal comes with 12:23 left and puts the Mustangs on top. Januszek gets the assist. Now the Mustangs still with the puck in the Blackhawk zone, and now a 3-1 lead. Racing after the puck in the Mustang zone, Garver was beaten to it. Now Blake is able to knock it down into Garver behind that net. Pass for Jason Blake. Blake is tied up along the boards by Hiley. Now Pomplin comes in. Blake gets it to Steinmetz. His centering pass is intercepted by Januszek. Now Steinmetz has it again, has it stripped by Matt Hiley. Hiley works it out along the boards, gets it to center ice. Garbarino shoots it right back in. The Blackhawks clear the zone on the delayed offside. Colin Muldoon now fires one out to center ice. Garbarino controls for the Blackhawks. Got it to center. It's intercepted there by Bazaraba. Shannon Bazaraba across the line. It's tied up by Fulton. He lost the puck. Here's a quick shot by Surgat, and the pad save by Paul Spencer. And then the puck is shot out over the glass and out of play. The last scoring play, Jace Wareham of Rochester from Jamie Zanujic for Wareham, his third goal of the year. It came at 7:37. And that makes it 3-1, and now the Blackhawks have some coming back to do. We'll get a little delay here as they're attending to an ice problem back behind the Rochester goal, part of the yellow kickboard that you see there at the bottom of your screen along the bottom of the baseboards. You'll note when the puck gets into the Rochester zone that a section of that is now missing in behind the goal, and that's going to make for some crazy bounces. From the faceoff, the Blackhawks control it on right wing. Bessie tried to knock one down. The Mustangs work it into the corner. They get it in front. Here's Bazaraba trying to spin one in front. It's intercepted by Hayes. Pass for Bessie is too far on the right wing. Ewald has it behind his own net. Derek Ewald works it out of his own zone. Now here's Hayes trying to hold it in. They got it to Surgat. He shoots one into the Blackhawk zone. Spencer knocks it away from Klingfuss, and ahead on left wing for Hayes. Rink wide to Bessie. Bessie moving one-on-one, and Ewald was able to sweep, check it away from him. Back come the Mustangs. Klingfuss checked by Stady, but Bazaraba picks it up. Shannon Bazaraba cuts in front. Is checked by Hayes. Hayes out to Broughton. Broughton with Bessie. Here's Brent Bessie again on right wing. Bessie now to Broughton. Broughton cutting in. Shoots, he scores! What a nice move by Aaron Broughton. Off the feed by Brent Bessie. Broughton gets the goal, and it's 3-2.
Boy, picture perfect play there. That couldn't have been played any better. He sucked that goalie out of his net. I tell you, Gasparino just came right out, and he pulled it back and tucked it right around the weak side.
For Aaron Broughton, it's his 6th goal of the season. It comes at 9:35. Bessie and Hayes should get assists. And they only credit one assist, that to Brent Bessie. Bobby Hayes had led Bessie out of the zone. And Broughton danced around the defense, faked Gasparini, and cuts the Mustang lead to 3-2. We're midway through the second period. Now for Rochester, Sean Pomplin at center ice. Shoots one in. It goes around the boards, comes around to the right point to Jensen. He got it in front. Roach knocked it down there. Now Januszek checks him. Now Roach takes another whack at it and feeds it ahead on right wing to John Garver. He's checked by Pomplin, and Stevens controls the puck for Rochester. Into his own zone to Jensen. Back to Stevens on right wing for Ruzinski. He's checked, and Jason Blake shoots it back into the Rochester zone. There, you can see that kick plate that was missing in behind the net. Coming out of his own zone for Rochester is Jensen. Ahead now to Ruzinski. Ruzinski's return pass for Jensen was behind him as he was tied up by Dwayne Rowe. Now Blake fires one out to center ice as he flipped one into the air. Ruzinski circles back, takes a bump from Blake, gives it off to Stevens. Stevens got it to the face-off circle, no further. Garbarino took control. Blackhawks work it out to center ice. Now here's Rasmussen fanning on a attempt. Crawford couldn't control the puck. The Mustangs clear it back out. Now it's center ice. Here's Ryan Thomas across the line. A pad save by Gasparini as that one almost found its way between his legs. Now Stevens controls for Rochester, flips one through the middle. It's all the way down the ice. It's on goal. Spencer has to play it, sets it up for Folden. Now the crowd trying to get into it, trying to cheer the Blackhawks on. We get a whistle and an offside at the blue line. Mike Schauer carried in on left wing, and Rasmussen was in ahead of the play on right wing. 8:45 left here in period number 2. Rochester now leading the Blackhawks 3-2. The Blackhawks have not been a man short yet tonight.
No, and it's kind of interesting because Walsh, the referee, is not that popular of a fellow here in this auditorium.
To put it politely, Ian Walsh is not very popular among Blackhawk fans. But then again, what referee is, right?
That's true.
Face-off. The puck is tied up along the left wing boards. The Blackhawks dig it loose. Hayes at center to Bessie. Back to Hayes across the red line. Shoots one in. Ewald tied up by Broughton. Broughton gets it back to Garbarino. Garbarino sets up a low shot, and Gasparini the pad save. Here's Hayes chasing it down. Into the corner for Bessie. Ian Walsh, the referee, gets out of the way. The puck comes into the right wing corner. Muldoon has it. He lost it. It comes to Broughton. He couldn't get it quite in front of Brett Bessie as Ewald cleared it out of trouble for the Mustangs. Back behind his own goal now. Roach, he has it knocked away from him. Garbarino picks it up and starts out of his own zone. Garbarino, a lead pass for Steinmetz is off his stick all the way down into the Mustang zone. Hughlin takes a hit from Steinmetz. The puck is loose. It lay there right behind Hughlin. He didn't see it. Jason Blake comes up with it for the Blackhawks. Blake to Garver along the right wing boards. He turns, flips one into the corner. Now Hughlin is taken down by Steinmetz. Todd Steinmetz, a very aggressive shift. Now Hughlin and Blake push and shove at each other in behind the net. Blake gets the last shot in.
Oh, yeah. Blake's always going to make sure he gets that last shot in.
We're down to 7:33 left here in period number 2. Rochester leading this game now 3-2. It was 1-1 after one. John Garver and Aaron Broughton have the goals for the Blackhawks. Mike Ruzinski, Ken Surgott, and Jace Wareham have scored for Rochester. Faceoff comes up outside the Rochester zone. From the draw, the Mustangs cleared into the Blackhawk zone. Steinmetz cleared it, but not out. Then Darren Beckley was able to pick up the puck. He shoots it down the ice. They rule the Mustangs could have played it at center, so there's no icing. Now in behind their own goal, here's Steinmetz putting the hit on Ewald. That helps keep the puck in the zone. Now Garver has it behind the net. Garver tries to run in front of Steinmetz. He scores! Todd Steinmetz has tied this game 3-3. And Steinmetz actually started the play by putting the hit on Ewald. That allowed the puck to be held in at the point by Folden. He cleared it in behind the net to John Garver. Garver put it in front of Todd Steinmetz, and the Iron Man made no mistake about it. Put it behind Gasparini, 3-3 the score.
Again, that showed you right there. Rochester not clearing the man out of the front of the net, and it cost him a good goal, and that was a beautiful goal by Steinmetz. He was right there for the pass.
His 12th goal of the season. We call him the Iron Man because he's the only Blackhawk player to have played in every game so far. Now Ian Walsh, the referee, having words over with Rochester coach Steve Hughlin at the bench, thus the delay in getting the face-off started. Not quite sure what the Rochester beef was there. Maybe they felt Gasparini had been interfered with.
Well, I think what they're saying is, and they're pointing to the lineman, that he thinks that there might have been a two-line pass coming out of there. And I can't see how that would have happened.
Regardless, the goal stands, and it's 3-3. Now Slater on left wing, a quick shot. It's off the arm pad of Tony Gasparini and over the glass. Tony Gasparini is the son of Gino Gasparini, a famous name in college hockey circles, the longtime coach at the University of North Dakota. And his assistant for several years there was Kerry Eads, now the head coach of Dubuque. And the Fighting Saints come in here and play Friday night. So make your plans to be here Friday at 7:30.
I'd hate to play trivia with you on Blackhawks.
From the face-off, Beckley's shot is blocked by Klingfuss. It comes back into the Blackhawk zone. Stady clears it back to center. Now Muldoon has it for Rochester, shoots one into the corner. Spencer sets it up behind his own goal. Spencer works it out on right wing to Bessie. Bessie to Hayes. Hayes got it to center. No further though, Muldoon has it. Muldoon over on left wing to Klingfuss. Now to Bazaraba. He's knocked off the puck by Beckley. Beckley shoots one in. Muldoon has it at the side of the net. Now Muldoon tries to work out of the zone. He's checked. Bobby Hayes had the puck for a moment, tied up by Bessie. Ben Stady now has it at center ice. Stady clears one into the Mustang zone. Muldoon gathers it up there. Lead pass for Bazaraba is too far. Stady knocks it down. Now to Sean Pomplin. Pomplin at center across the line. Pomplin in on left wing. And Stady sliding for the puck. Didn't get the puck, and he's going to be whistled off for tripping. So the Mustangs will have their first power play of the game. And as Ben Stady goes off for tripping, Dwight Fritz has to make his way to the ice to help in preparation for the Junior Hawks Adams team that will be taking part, showing an exhibition here in the second intermission. Stady goes off for tripping at 14:04. And while Stady goes off, stepping in for Dwight Fritz is Blackhawks Vice President General Manager Scott Brand. You can hear Scott on all the Blackhawks road broadcast on K98 radio. Scott, the Blackhawks have battled back here in front of a large crowd, the largest of the season.
Steve, they certainly have, and this will be a big penalty kill for the Hawks. Let's hope we can do it here.
From the face-off, a drive from the point by Pomplin, and that sails wide. It comes into the right wing corner. Roach clears it, but not out. Jensen gets it into Kelly. Back to Pomplin. Fans on the shot, and it rolls weakly into the corner. Garbarino gets it to McLennan. He bangs one off the boards and all the way down the ice. Up front for Rochester, it's Schauer, Kelly, and Surgat. Here's Mike Schauer now on right wing. Schauer ridden off the puck by Garbarino into the corner. Garbarino knocks Schauer down. The puck comes in behind the net, and Roach clears it, but not out. Pomplin holds it in. Over to Jensen. His shot was blocked by Austin Crawford. The puck bounced in the air. Crawford didn't see it. Now Pomplin has it. He takes a bump from Crawford. Back to Jensen. Jensen through center ice to the blue line. Jensen deep into the